The Rainbow Tribe is here. Ed McGay, Eagleman of Oglala Sioux, in one of his excellent books, says, Rainbow Tribe, at each dawn the numbers increase. No longer will the priceless wisdom of nature-based spirituality be ignored. So who is the Rainbow Tribe? The Rainbow Tribe identifies those non-natives who embrace nature's path or Native American spirituality. Those who follow this path can be referred to simply as the rainbow. So the immediate question begs an answer up front. Can non-natives, including myself, practice and speak upon nature-based spirituality, in particular the red road of Native Americans? There are sincere spiritual seekers who want to learn and incorporate Native spirituality into their own path. However, are not sure that it is allowed, that they may offend traditional Indians. Some detractors attack us who embrace Native wisdom, saying that it is about whites or blacks or reds or yellow-skinned people trying to be Indian. It's not trying to be Indian. So let's turn to Native spokespeople for understanding. McGay, Eagleman, quotes Jamie Sams from other council fires who were here before ours, says this. These two Legans, that's people, will be called the Rainbow Tribe, for they are the product of thousands of years of melding among the 5 original races. These children of the earth have been called together to open their hearts and to move beyond the barriers of disconnection. The medicine they carry is the whirling rainbow of peace, which will mark the union of the 5 races as one. Let's be clear that I do not speak for all Rainbow Tribe people, or as Ed McGay states, he does and cannot speak for all indigenous tribes. No one can. And if they say they can, cast an eye of suspicion. Even though no one person can speak for all Native Americans, what we can talk about is the beautiful commonality which runs through the indigenous way or natural way. So the learning I am presenting has come from many sources. Ed McGay, from whom I mentioned, is my main source, as well as the classic indigenous book, Black Elk Speaks, by John Neidert. He wrote this in 1932. McGay says of John Neidert that he was probably the first rainbow person, at least to be named from a member of my tribe. Also, I have reference from Dancing with Wheel, the Medicine Wheel workbook by Sun Bear, The Sacred Pipe, and others. Can all sincere people practice or experience this spirituality? From my sources, I quote, "It was intended that the knowledge of natural way be preserved and passed on for the benefit of all two-legged, tribal and non-tribal." Also, McGay mentions that 2 venerable Sioux holy men, with whom he learned from, Fool's Crow and Eagle Feather, who rebirthed the Sundance, followed Black Elk's example. Their ceremonies did not exclude anyone because of gender or color or bloodline. Both holy men spoke for unity and cooperation among the races of the 4 colors. He goes on to say that Frank Fool's Crow said, "The power and ways are given to us to be passed on to others. To think or do anything else is pure selfishness. We only keep them and get more by giving them away. And if we do not give them away, we lose them." It's a drug council. That sounds like the AA program. Spiritual wisdom is spiritual wisdom. This is why I or anyone here can embrace nature's path or the red road and need not justify it to any detractor, either tribal or non-tribal. There is a fitting and powerful Lakota term, Matakua Oasan, which means we are all related. we are all related to all things. Of course, that was the beautiful children's story that the kids read. As a white Rainbow Tribe member, I can appreciate the Red Road of Native Americans also by my connection to my European tribal ancestors, the Celts. This might be new to a lot of people. It was for me not too long ago. McGee presents the historical connection between Native Americans and the Celts. There's exciting evidence that historical parallel can be seen between Mesoamerican tribal customs and early European socio-religious leadership and practices. There are fascinating parallels between northeastern tribes of North America and tribal people. The Celts came across the Atlantic. McGee goes on to say that there is archaeological evidence that a Celtic society existed in North America long before other Europeans came, as far back as 800 BC. The data suggests that those who crossed the Atlantic over 2,700 years ago were Celtic. Thus, could not the early Celts have influenced Native Americans, or Native Americans influenced the Celts? Native American spirituality and Celtic spirituality, including modern-day Wicca, share some common beliefs and practices, among which the rite of saging, which I did briefly before we started, and calling the directions, which was mentioned in the story, and which we'll have in Medicine Wheel, the east, south, west, and north, and honoring female deity, whether it's Mother Earth, or the goddess, or grandfather, father, sky, or the god. These nature paths honor the earth and connection with all creation. I repeat this Lakota term, Matakwa Awasan. We are all related. So nature path people do ceremony and have found a closer connection to the created entity all around them. Rainbows have stepped back into nature. Rainbows have found their path, their tribal unity, and rich harmonic connections while they travel their earth walk journey. Rainbows realized, unlike the dominant society they come from, that we could use a spiritual base that does not advocate dominion over nature, but rather brings an intrinsic relationship with nature as dependent servants, not polluting, self-destructing masters. We believe that getting back to nature will be the key to saving our planet. So, does nature paths fit with Unitarian Universalism? Absolutely. Respect for creation and honoring nature is found in the Unitarian Universalist 7 principles and is part of our denomination's very rich social justice consciousness. So then, natural people throughout the planet are exploring revelation from creation. They are learning from what is directly revealed from what they can taste, touch, feel, observe, and study. Now, modern seekers are beginning to recognize the visible powers of the universe and believe that there is one beginning in this universe. It's called by many names. Great Spirit, or God, Wankantankan, which means great mystery, and many others. McGee states that those who are taking a serious look at Native American spirituality, or Mother Earth spirituality, or natural way, are bringing forth that ancient tribal gene link that cultivates an innate spiritual consciousness, a natural, harmonically flowing guidance that led native peoples to personal and collective earth enjoyment for thousands of years. So this nature path is not only for our Native American brothers and sisters, but as said earlier, is for all colors of people, of the sacred native ceremony called Medicine Wheel. I will briefly introduce some of the meetings behind the Medicine Wheel and then we will do medicine wheel right. As preparation, I will review some brief concepts about ritual and ceremony, which are central to nature's path. First, my understanding of nature path religion is about the experience. As I shared above, it's about spiritual revelation that we can taste, touch, see, and observe. Thus, for rainbows, as with those who are pagans, ritual and ceremony play a central place. Study, as in all religious seeking, is important. But the concept that I learned early on is it's in the practice. Thus, we will move from introducing concepts for this talk to actual brief ceremony. So we're going from mind to emotion, from the world of the seen to the unseen. Secondly, to prepare us for doing medicine wheel, what is ritual or ceremony? Ceremony, and I quote, is beseechment or thanksgiving or acknowledgement to a higher power, a higher force, or in the tradition of Sioux Indian, ceremony is directed towards Wankantankan, the Great Spirit, the Great Mystery, through the 6 powers of the universe, the 6 powers that Black Elk's powerful vision speaks of. From another source, by doing ceremonies, like those having to do with the medicine wheel, you get in touch with these spirits. A ceremony is a way for humans to center their energy and connect with these spirit powers who can help heal both humans and the earth. Thirdly, what about symbols and meaning? Medicine wheel, as with nature path ceremonies, is rich in symbols in what outsiders would consider meaningless. I will give one example as presented from Black Elk Speak, circles, to mention to the 2 children that those stones and gems are in the form of a circle, and that we would talk about that. So what's the symbolism behind circle? Everything an Indian does is in circle, and that is because the power of the world always works in circles, and everything tries to be round. The flowering tree, which I brought up, a wall hanging for front of the altar, is one representation of. The flowering tree was the living center of the hoop, and the circle of the 4 quarters nourished it. Everything the power of the world does is done in circle. The sky is round, the earth is round, and so are the stars. The wind in its greatest power whirls. Birds make their nests in circles, for theirs is the same religion as ours. The sun comes forth and goes down again in circle. The moon does the same, and both are round. Even the seasons form a great circle, and they're changing and always coming back again to where they were. And those are just some of the meanings of circle, of the symbolism. So in the book Sacred Earth, the spiritual landscape of Native Americans, in discussing the 4 directions, directional symbolism is the heart of Amerindian traditions, which we'll experience in the medicine wheel. So then, what is the medicine wheel? Sun Bear, Chippewa Indian mentions above, says, the medicine wheel is a springboard of power that will allow you to link up with the energies of the universe. He goes on to say, medicine wheel is a sacred hoop of nations. For the world to come into real balance, the nations must be healed. If we want to have a better world, people must be in balance and harmony. The sacred medicine wheel can teach proper balance. The medicine wheel is an important tool for these times. By learning about the wheel, we learn about the universe. Through traveling around the wheel, we bring, that's the circle, we bring life-giving changes into our own lives and into the world. And one more from Don Quijos, Mohican Nation, from Meditations with Native American Elders, says, the medicine wheel represents everything, all directions originating from the center outward. And the center is our home, is where the Creator is. And the medicine wheel represents the human being, all human beings, teaching the four directions of the races, the red people, yellow people, white people, black people. And these four are symbolic of all races. And everything, again, is connected and related. So let's introduce the medicine wheel ritual. First, there's no one way to do this. I learned from a large gathering. I watched a native holy man conduct it with felt. And we thought we could only use bison skin. So this is, that's not so much the material. So the red is going to symbolize the red road, the path, the spiritual journey. Green is going to symbolize the earth, Mother Earth. And then the four colors of the directions. And then blue for the sky. Black Elk speaks, the east gave peace and light, and the south gave warmth. The west gave rain. The north with its cold and mighty winds gave strength and endurance. So the mini ceremony starts with saging, and I mentioned that already. And sage is a sacred herb. Other herbs can be used, but it's a common herb. And it's not only represents cleansing from an herb from the earth, but it also represents the prayers being uplifted to the spirit world. And since we were in close space, I did sage during the ceremony. So we would like to have, Frank is going to bless us with a flute to get us grounded, and we're going to go right into the medicine. We call upon our Mother Earth, Anamaka, and acknowledge that every particle of our being is part of you through the food you give us daily. Green is her color, and reminding us that she nurtures our growth. Mother Earth is our connection to life. You are truly our mother, the womb of our life, who must be honored and respected. Call upon the east, and elements of air, where the rising of the sun and moon are portals of beginnings. This is the source of all knowledge. Like the first yellow rays of morning sun, east brings a new light of innocence, its birth, spring water of the year. Grant with each dawn new knowledge and new experiences and new journeys and wisdom that spring from these. We call upon the south, and elements of fire, where the red fires rise up to warm and illuminate the earth. Summer and adolescence. Like the birds who go south to bring back seeds to scatter to the four directions, life is replenished over the earth and growth is abundant. Grant us that our Mother Earth, as with ourselves, be cleansed and renewed. For her health is our health. Her life is our life. Call upon the north, elements of earth. North puts our Mother Earth to sleep under the winter's blanket of snow. It's a time of old age, of hibernation. Spirits dance in the northern sky and teach us how both light and darkness come together from the same source. Grant me us courage and endurance, and may honesty come from all my directions, interaction with all things. From the west, where waters move gently to give moisture of life to the earth. The west is where the sun goes down, bestowing the calm of darkness and blackness of night. West is about fall and adulthood. There is direction of knowledge of the spirit world. And grant us aid in living a good life. Call upon Sky Grandfather, Sky, whose energy from the sun, the heart of Father Sky, provides fires that fuel our homes and energies in our bodies. The color of the sky is blue, and the star world reminds us of our sacred place in the universe. Father Sky, who has daily communion with our Mother, our true parents, and together they are part of this sacred universe and this medicine now. Oh, we may end with some meditation. Please, you would close your eyes and just take in what you have just experienced.
stand and join us in singing 107.3. We sang it last week.